Hello everybody, welcome back to the Collector's Vault. My name is Mike. Really short intro. This is just going to be another little True King Dinosaur deck discussion combo video. Basically just utilizing the good old three card combo. It's going to be utilizing the good old baby and diagram, as well as using the True King monsters. My last video was using the Guardragon cards, and as powerful those combos are, I'm trying to see if I can go more pure, because there are times where the Guardragon combo, as powerful as it is, does tend to brick. So I want to go back to a more pure build, see, you know, if the good old the two card combo where you can go into a Trishula, then to a Calamities, or into an Enter Blanfnir is still good and strong. But then you have to realize that the 3-card combo really does give you a lot of like utility as far as like new monsters, just more massive boards that you can make. I've been trying to experiment on a few good, just solid boards that are consistent enough to make, and I do utilize a few new tech cards, mainly the 10E monsters. The problem is that I still think there's still a lot more room for improvement, but these are still pretty good. I think they're still, you know, very powerful even in the meta today. A lot of decks just can't handle against the Calamities and some of the other boss monsters that we have. I definitely do want to try to experiment more with the rockets. I think they can combo really well with the Guardragon cards. But, you know, we'll say that for another time. Now, let's just go take a look at the table, and I'll show you some of those combos I was talking about. Alright, we're back. So, as I said, this is going to be demonstrating a 3-card combo that I'm working on. It's really nothing crazy compared to the old ones. It just kind of utilizes, you know, diagram and a baby dinosaur, and if you open up one of the True Kings, water or fire, usually if you open up with the water True King, the water True King Barastos, you kind of just use diagram to search the other version of himself, and then you can use his effect destroying the other copy in his hand, and then you can kind of go off from there. But you know, that's obviously, and I'll show that off too, I guess, show that it all equals the same combo. But for now, we're kind of just going to utilize, like, you know, if you open up with these 2 cards as well as one of the True Kings, you can do this new little combo that I'm working on, and I'm trying to see how good it actually is. So a lot of this is going to be pretty standard. So, you know, I'm going to try to go kind of quick through this. And also, yes, I know the bureau is a problem. There's a lot, and this is kind of like assuming no hand traps, because obviously there are ways you can probably play around it. I do want to try to incorporate some way to play around the bureau, but I still haven't figured it out yet. But obviously, you know, we're just going to assume no hand traps. Most combos do assume no hand traps. So we'll just play diagram, use its effect to destroy a baby. Then use diagram's effect to add yourself the other copy of the True Kings, so that way you have water and fire, or, you know, 2 waters. But for now, let's say we open up with fire, so we add the water. And then baby's effect will summon you your raptor. Raptor's effect will then add you your other baby. You can add between Phendrana too, that doesn't really matter. Normal summon the baby, raptor, target baby, summon this baby. This baby's effect will then summon you miscellaneous source. So now, this is where you would have to link summon with these 2. Then to Reaperdocus, use his effect to make this baby a fire monster, so that way you can use Agnimazon's effect to summon himself by destroying a water and a fire. And then both of their effects are going to go off. The baby will then summon you your giant Rex. And this is where I'm trying out something new. Instead of summoning out another True King, usually the fire monster, we're actually going to be summoning out a 10E monster, because these are worms and they can be summoned off of Barasso's effect, and they can be added back with Agnimazon's effect. But so I'm basically trying out one of the Earth Tuner, and I am testing out the dark one. I can't remember his name. It begins with the V. Vishuda, because he's actually a really good turn 1 starter, even when going second, because, you know, you summon him for free, go to the Link monster, bounce a card. So, you know, I'm testing these guys out. But the cool thing is that with this, you actually do get access to a level 1 Earth Tuner. So since the water tree was destroyed, you can summon this off in your hand. And then you're going to synchro summon with these 2 into your Ib, and use Ib's effect to add yourself a World Legacy Succession. Ah, yes. So then you link summon these into a Link 3 with good arrows, and I think the best one right now is still Decode Talker. He's still not a bad monster, so we'll summon Decode Talker. You could also go into Psyframe Landa, which is a really, really good Link 2 monster, but we kind of want this to be a Link 3, because we're going to use this to go into Apollosa. So now we can use the miscellaneous source in my graveyard, but banishing itself and 3 other dinosaurs, including Giant Rex. Again, this is relatively standard. So then you'll banish these 4, and you'll get out, a level 4. You can just go for another copy of miscellaneous source. That way you have plays for later. Then Rex will summon itself. And then you'll use World Legacy Succession to resummon the Adhara. I don't remember what this guy's name was, but summon out the Earth Tenyi Tuner. Then this will give you access to Natura Beast, nice and easy. And then you will synchro summon these guys into Cloud Castle. Now the thing with Cloud Castle is I've been taking this guy in and out of decks, and he actually is really good because he is a 1-card Calamities, and that's basically what we're using him for. So then you can use his effect. Well, actually, technically, we're also going to use the effect of Ib since he did leave the field. And here's where I'm also a little bit iffy on which monsters you should be playing, because I've been testing out this guy just because he's a level 4 monster. Unfortunately, his attribute's not very good, so it doesn't really work with Agnimazon or Barastos. A lot of times, people just kind of just play the World Legacy, the World Chalice Guardragon, and I've shown it in previous combos where you can utilize a card like this and Water Monster, a Water Dinosaur like Midwest Smasher for your, really good combos and extenders. But you can also, I was even trying to see if I can try Crown of the World Chalice because there's a Water Monster for Barastos, and there's already plenty of fire targets in this deck for Agnimazon. But regardless, for now, we'll just summon out this guy. And then Cloud Castle will then summon back your level 9 monster, so he'll summon back your Fire True King. And then this one goes right into your Calamities. And then finally you utilize these 2, and you can go right into your Apollosa. Now, unfortunately, Apollosa is only going to be able to negate 2 monster effects because we only use 2 monsters. But I'm trying to figure out a way you can probably make it a little bit better. But for now, the point is you can still acquire an Apollosa, which is great for stopping hand traps when it goes to your opponent's turn. You have a Calamities with 2 materials, by the way. So there's 2 turns your opponent basically can't play the game, and you have a card that stops all spells. The problem is with this combo, as powerful as it is, you're still vulnerable to a card like. Well, obviously you're vulnerable to the Nibiru as you're making this play because I can't get the Apollosa fast enough. But you're also very vulnerable to a card like Evenly Matched. So as powerful as this board is, because it actually is good against Sky Strikers, which actually is a deck that Calamity suffers. He doesn't suffer, but he really just can't. Actually, no, not to lie, he does suffer. He really is just as good. I think he's still the best boss monster in the game, but he does nothing against Sky Striker. In many cases, actually, if you really wanted to, you could just go right into maybe a Intrep Lanthnier, so that way you can just start trying to rip as many cards out of the Sky Striker's hand, and that way you already have the main card that stops all their spells, and you can still technically potentially stop a hand trap. This is actually really good to help protect Natura Beast against a card like Ghost Ogre, because Ghost Ogre completely hurts Natura Beast, and Ghost Ogre is seeing a lot more play right now. But anyway, here's one combo, and I want to kind of go back to the other combo that I used to always run because I think it's still really, really powerful. It actually does help accommodate for multiple negations, and so let's take a look at it right now. Alright, sorry guys, I got ahead of myself and I forgot to mention that. I was going to show how you can do the combo with the old traditional Diagram Baby Water True King, because again, it doesn't matter which True King you open up with, it all works. So, just going to run through it really quickly. Diagram, destroy the baby. Use Diagram to add yourself your second copy of the Water True King. Baby summon Raptor. Raptor add baby. Normal summon baby. Raptor effect target baby. Resummon baby. Baby's effect that was destroyed in graveyard will summon you a miscellaneous source. And then you can use Baras's effect to destroy the other copy of himself and the baby. Using their effects, you can then get out your Adhara, and you get out the Giant Rex. Okay, now here's the beauty of only using the 2 Water True Kings, because then you get access to this. You can link summon with all 4 of these into an Apollosa. Now, granted, unfortunately, this is well after your 5th monster, so this is not going to protect you from the Nibiru. However, you now have an Apollosa that was used 4 materials. That's 4 negates. It's what, is it 800 times 4? Yeah. So 3200, nice and big, can negate 4 things. That's pretty nice. It can negate, further hand traps now. So the cool thing is that now you can then use miscellaneous, banish 4 dinosaurs. There's my phone again. Again, summon out like another miscellaneous source, for example. And then your giant Rex will summon itself. Ugh. Now, ooh, my phone won't stop ringing. You can now synchro summon into your Ib. Ib will once again add you World Legacy Succession. And then you will use World Legacy Succession to get out your tuner again. And, whoops, I don't think you should go under here beneath the Link Monster. Now, you will once again synchro summon into Cloud Castle. Now, here's the cool thing, because Cloud Castle will bring back your level 9, that'll make your Calamities. And now, this is where this guy's really going to shine, because when it leaves the field, you can summon this guy from the deck, or grave, wherever he is. Summon this guy out. So now, you have your Calamities, and you have your Naturia Beast. I don't know why I overlaid them. So boom, and boom. So now, once again, you have your Calamities and Naturia Beast, which shuts down no small. Like, your opponent can't play the game, no spells, and it can negate 4 monster effects. And which, if you think about it, it's technically better than the other combo, because now this is not only negating just 2 monsters, it can negate 4. It's bigger. Even in the other combo, when this guy was only 1600, he can only negate twice. Although you might be worried that he's really weak and get run over by something first, Calamities will just negate. He says your opponent can't use monster effects and they can't attack. So this guy will never be attacked, basically. So yeah, this is what the 3-card combo can do with a Water True King in your hand. You basically get the exact same feel, but a little bit better, because now this guy can negate 4 times. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys the good old combo. Kind of like this is the old school one that I used to play back like a year and a half. I think almost 2 years ago. So start off like the traditional way: diagram, destroy a baby. Add yourself the other Water True King. So that way you have 2 copies. Again, you can use fire and water, but for this we'll just use the 2 water because it makes it a little bit better. And then the baby's effect will give you Raptor. Raptor will add you the other copy of baby. Normal summon baby. Raptor destroy this. Again, all pretty standard stuff. Summon out your miscellaneous source. Effective Water True King, destroy, and then destroy these guys. Then in this combo, this is not going to be utilizing the 10U guy. We're just going to go classic and just summon out a Fire True King, summon out Giant Rex. So now we do proceed with the old school combo where you go into any Link monster that points down. Reaper Deckers works just fine. And that's where you're going to go into your Calamities. And then this is where you go into a Link 3. Again, Deku Talker is just fine. Then you can use miscellaneous effects and banish 4 dinosaurs. Get out again, and I copy miscellaneous source. Why the hell not? Then get out Giant Rex. These are banished. Now you will have to waste the material from Calamities, but if you use this and call Earth, sorry, not Earth, call Water. So now everything's water. You can then go into the classic. One of my favorite combos, go into Bahamut Shark, and then you can detach, I guess, just detach Giant Rex or miscellaneous. That way you have an effect next turn, or just detach Rex. That way you have a monster for next turn that can come back. Blah blah blah. Summon out your Toad, and this is still a really powerful duo. The other neat thing is that at this point you technically could use these 2 and go into Apollousa. This is why I love Apollousa, because it just gives you so many. It gives you so much variety as far as like just turning any 2 monsters into like an non-omni negator, just into a great negator. And again, even though if you were to use these 2, this guy will only be 1600, but you don't have to worry about attacking because Calamity says your opponent can't attack you anyway. Or if you want, you can kind of just leave the field like this, and you have basically another negate, because this guy can negate tributing, or excuse me, he can tribute to negate a targeting effect. So although you will lose your Bahamut Shark, it technically can help protect you from protect you from like an infinite impermanence or something, which is really nice. Also, Decode is just very big. And also, what I like about this is because Totally Awesome, when it goes to the graveyard, can either recycle itself to add itself back to the extra deck, so that way Bahamut Shark can then summon it again on your next turn, or you can use this to add back a Water True King, for example. So again, very strong combo. Another combo I was even thinking, well, I wouldn't say a combo, but potentially, technically, if you have a Gamma in your hand, like a Psyframe, you could always just turn these guys into a Lambda, so that way you have more negation. You know, like you can go. The whole point of this combo is just that way you get out a Toad and Calamities, which a lot of decks really can't handle. Now, again, if you're going up against something like Sky Strikers, this is not amazing, just because Toad, as powerful as Toad is and as good as this is against cards like against Widowmaker, Calamities is not that amazing against Sky Strikers, but technically he can still use his effect. That way your opponent basically can't abuse Kagari and Shizuku, which is can probably win you the game. It can basically allow you to go for game next turn. So yeah, these are the combos that I have been working on. Again, this is the good old classic standard with the potential for going into an Apollosa or something, or into a Lambda, depending on what's in your hand. So if you guys have any comments, please let me know. If you guys have anything that can improve these combos, please let me know, so that way we can share it with the community. I definitely am trying to come up with a way of maybe keeping Lambda on the board. I know there have been some combos I've discovered that you can go into Lambda pretty quickly if you have a Gamma in your hand, and that basically can at least scare your opponent to think that they might, even if you just have Lambda in the field, your opponent might think you have Gamma. Granted, I'm pretty sure they're still going to attempt to Nibiru you, because they had to take that chance. And if you don't have the Gamma, well, then you're pretty much screwed. But if you do have the Gamma, going Lambda really early can be a really, really good way to counter that, and then basically get a free level 8 single out of it. And if you want, you can even use that to go into like a Borreload Savage Dragon, which is really nice, or just good old classic Omega. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think. All right, that's it for now, guys. Take it easy.